everyone. This is Arijit, and I am part of Kernel training. And to say about my experience, I am having around 7 years of IT experience. Basically, I am into Java J2E development, and later I moved to performance engineering, where I do performance analysis for a retail application. And I am having around 2 years of experience with Splunk, and today we will go through the various aspects of Splunk, which is the next big thing in web analytics, operational intelligence, and what else. So we will be going through one demo on Splunk. We will see what are the things Splunk can provide to us, make web analytics or data analysis part easier for the developers and for organizations. Splunk is an emerging technology in the field of big data analytics. Splunk is adding a huge value to many big organizations in terms of analyzing their application, analyzing their application's behavior, the user interactivity with their application, and apparently it can add a huge value to their. So to know about Splunk, you need to know how our machine data works in terms of your app servers, your database servers, or any other application which generates own language. From a developer perspective or from a developer perspective, we always know that all our applications generate a huge number or a huge amount of logs, log into various logs files, and whenever we face some issue, we go to those logs and we will figure out what might be the problem at the application side. Along with that, from logs, we can also analyze what flow the user has gone through. Now, just think about a huge application which is having hundreds of app servers or maybe any other servers. It will make life really difficult to analyze what is going through in each of the app servers. Again, in app servers, you will be having number of JVMs. So it is very difficult from a developer perspective or for anybody to figure out what is going through in one JVM. So in such scenario, Splunk is the rescue. Splunk is intelligent enough to give you the required information from across all the app servers, JVMs, or any other application logs. So it is making our life really easier to figure out if there is any problem with a huge application, or if you want to check some user interactivity for a particular flow, you can figure it out through Splunk. So Splunk will provide you all the necessary information from your application standpoint. So basically, Splunk is making our life easier, and it's the next big thing in big data analytics. So now let's go through what is Splunk. As I have already explained, Splunk is a powerful platform for analyzing machine data that machines emit in great volume, but which is seldom used effectively. And yes, in most of the times, without any monitoring agent, we will not be able to analyze the data properly. We do not know how much data we need to read. In case of any Linux-based app server, you need to go through each of the JVMs and you have to go through each of the logs, you have to tail them, and you have to figure, or you have to search for a particular string to check what is going through in the logs. So in case of 100 app servers or 100 JVMs, it's very difficult. Splunk will be providing you the platform to analyze that. Yes, we can see Splunk as a search and analysis engine. It is the Google of application log data. Like you can search any particular string in Google, you can search any particular string from our log. So it's a very powerful software, or you can say it's a very powerful search engine which can be used to search or to investigate or to troubleshoot or to monitor or to visualize or to alerting or to report generation, everything which is happening in your entire IT infrastructure. And it can be done at real time also. It's very powerful in terms of real-time monitoring of your IT infrastructure, or real-time alerting also, or real-time reporting also. So as I have told you, don't need to log into multiple servers and go through all the logs for a particular scenario. Splunk can do it in smarter way for you. So it's really easier to use Splunk and to see what is there in your application log. And hence, it effectively reduces the troubleshooting and resolving time, because you can get all the necessary information in hand instantly. You don't need to go here and there to search for a particular string. You can get it readily available using Splunk at any point of time. There is no doubt that Splunk is the best friend for any kind of root cause analysis. If you want to check anything in your application logs, Splunk is always your best friend, and that is why it's the next big thing in data analysis and operational. So let's move on to the next slide. Splunk basically has two parts. One is Splunk D and one is Splunk Web. Splunk D is the core of Splunk. It's basically the engine part which indexes all files and it gives you the results, and it can control the access for data also. Splunk Web is the one which we will be using frequently. It's the client part of Splunk. It's the user interface to the data or to the machine data which is indexed by your Splunk. Our course is all about Splunk Web, where we will see how we will be analyzing the log or analyzing any kind of machine data using Splunk Web. So these are the basic two parts of Splunk. Now let's move on to the next slide. So here there are a couple of examples where Splunk is being used in real time, and how Splunk is helping us to get rid of certain technology oriented problems where that data should be analyzed. Splunk is always there. Now take the example of IT operations. Metro TCS, which is a leading North American telecom operator, they use Splunk to index data from their firewall, intrusion detection systems they have, and their servers to identify if there is any network intrusion, and they can take a corrective action based on that. So basically, Splunk is not only about data analysis only, it can be used across many other verticals also. Web analytics, which is the most interesting part. Domino's Pizza, they use Splunk to track and analyze coupon usage. The coupons which normally they share to users while buying pizza from Domino's. They use Splunk to analyze the efficiency of their online promotions. They are providing some coupons and they want to see what is the user response to them. They are using Splunk to analyze that data. Internet of Things. Eglin Airport Base is using Splunk for a very interesting. They use Splunk to monitor elevators, their security doors, light switches, wall-mounted thermostats, etc. and then they will analyze the data to see the user, how much the user is using which segment. From that, they decide how efficiently the energy needs to be used. They can moderate it. So here you can see Splunk is being used for a very unique or a very special security is another aspect where we can use Splunk to analyze. Federal and state agencies are also using Splunk for analyzing their security and network log data. Definitely, it will be very huge in terms of volume, and they can get if there is any security issue from those logs and take the preventive measure accordingly. In terms of compliance, Credit Suisse, which uses Splunk to monitor data coming from their servers, databases, firewalls, etc. So in this case also, the application log volume will be huge, which is very difficult for human to analyze, and in that kind of scenario, you can use always Splunk to monitor that data. So these are some aspects of Splunk where we can use its intelligence for our operational. Now let's see what next. We will see about Splunk local setup. This is nothing but the indexing. Splunk is having two versions. One is free version and one is enterprise version. And definitely the free version will have certain limitations. Like you can index only 500 MB of data per day. Reporting is there, ad hoc search is there. Enterprise service instead can index data 500 MB and beyond. It can provide some additional features like access control, distributed search, and load balancing. It can be used for real-time monitoring. It can be used for alerting. At enterprise level, we can go ahead with enterprise version of Splunk, whereas for day-to-day use or maybe for single use, we can go with Splunk local setup, where the log indexing part we need to do manually, server also, but that depends upon the person. Basically, I prefer to log or to index data manually. It's very much easier, and you don't need to spend much time doing all this network setup for your server and all. So it's very easy. So in our system, you will see how we can set up Splunk locally using the free version and get the required information out of the logs which is generated by our application. So coming next, here in front of you is a sample dashboard or a sample view of the Splunk, or we can see at a Splunk web. On top of it, you will be seeing the current view. Then you will be having certain navigations. You are having time range speaker. You are having the start search button. Then the global dash is there, where it will give the overview of all your application data. Then the data summary or the logs which are currently being indexed by Splunk. You are having a search box, which is the most essential part of Splunk web, where you will be writing the Splunk queries to get or to extract information out of your app. So this is how basically a Splunk web looks like. When you will be logging into your Splunk web application, you will be provided with this kind of search page where you can do all the related search operations and get your necessary output. So after your search, you will be seeing the data which is exactly matching your search criteria in this format from your log line. So in this example, we are searching for a string called error, and we can see the results which are satisfying the string error from your logs, where you can see the timestamp and event, which is nothing but the log line which is exactly fulfilling the particular. Here also you can have an overview of all the required data. You can see how many events have occurred for that particular string. I mean to say, in your log file, how many such instances are there where the string error is present. So we need to. So in this example, we are seeing around 276 events in the logs where we search the string as error. It means in our logs there are 276 errors present. So we can think in that way. So now here you can see from this example, it's very easy. You just need to place the search string and Splunk will give you the result accordingly. So it's pretty much easier. It's not it's and the people who are from development background, they can easily understand the ease of using Splunk now. Just think about a situation where you need to search error in your 10 app servers or maybe 10 JVMs. You need to log into each of the app servers if there are multiple. Then you need to go through each of the JVMs and you need to figure out what exactly the string. So you can get data in tabular format also. Let us suppose you are trying to group some of the search string based on their occurrences. So for that you need to write a Splunk query definitely, which we will see in our Splunk search language tutorial. But before that, you can see the exact view of how the table will do. This kind of database you can get from Splunk to reporting purpose or to report it or maybe for a better visualization. Here is an example of Splunk graph. You can create various graphs based on your search criteria, and Splunk can give you kind of chart like this. So there are multiple chart options present. You have to use based on your own requirement, and you can get data like this. Right. So here you can see the graphical representation of your search data, or if you're searching a particular string, you can see the occurrences of the particular string like this, maybe across the page. So now the intelligence of Splunk in terms of presenting the data, which you never achieve by manually doing it. You need to do or you need to perform some extra work to get the data in this format, which is given by Splunk ready-made. So this can be provided instantly or maybe real time. I was talking about Splunk search language, which is the key factor of using Splunk web. You need to be accustomed with search language, which is very specific to Splunk, to get a particular string out of application logs effectively. So search is a command which is used by Splunk to get the search string out of the logs, and we can see it as a series of commands and arguments which can be combined together by character, and which will take the output of one command and use it in the subsequent command. So here there are some examples where you are seeing in the first example as search -args, then 5 command args, then 5 command 2 command args. So let us suppose you are searching the string ABC, then you can do it as search ABC 5, and another command which may be another search like search XYZ, then 5 search EKM. You can based on your source type also, which you will be defining while indexing your data. That is source type, access combined. So now access combined is my source type, which is the placeholder of a particular log type. Let us suppose you are indexing all your access logs to access combined source type, then it will be searched as source type access _combined. Error is the search string which you will be searching in your access combined log. Top 10 URI are nothing but the top 10 URI which are having error. So how you will be interpreting it as give me the top 10 URI which are having errors in access combined logs. Or if you are indexing access logs to access combined, you can say give me top 10 URI which are having error from access log. So it's very simple. You can put one search command inside another, that is called subsearch. So here we are seeing an example of subsearch. So yeah, from these examples, people can interpret the search commands are used to search a particular or to extract a particular string out of the index data, and using it we can filter the unwanted information also, or you can extract more and more information from your index data, and you can present it in a very user understandable format with calculations, values, transforms, etc., which is statistically also easier to be analyzed. So we will see one video at the end, and we will see how to create a dashboard. A Splunk dashboard is used for real-time monitoring. It will have any widgets based on your requirement, all the data at once. So let us suppose you are searching in 10 different source types or 10 different log types, and you want to see all the search criteria you have written for all those log files at one place. You can do. So it's basically combination of your several search criteria. So these were the main topics which we will be covering in our Splunk sessions in depth. We will go in detail of each of them. You will see how effectively you can extract the information from application logs in Splunk. We will try to use the maximum commands possible which are provided by Splunk to extract your information. These are some references you can go through to know more about Splunk. Splunk.com is their main site which will have all the necessary information of the organization and the product. dev.splunk.com, the community which helps the developers in any kind of issue, right? So we can go through these references. So far we have gone through the overview of Splunk. We have gone through how Splunk is useful in many aspects of operational issues, how Splunk can address to operational issues, how we can use operational intelligence more effectively using Splunk. We have also seen how we can use Splunk search language to extract information out of our application logs. We have seen how we need to use dashboard to get all search data at one place. So now definitely you might be having many questions in mind. You can just go ahead and post your queries to Kernel training. We will be always there to address your issue at the earliest. So thanks for attending the demo session for Splunk. I hope you have got the overview of the uses of Splunk in terms of data analysis and operational intelligence. For any query, you can always, or any kind of question, you can always write to sales@kerneltraining.com. You can also call us as 8099773381, and we will be there to help you out. Thanks for attending the lessons. Thank you.
Hello.
Yeah, sure. Hello.
Hey, Vandana. So here is one video which I am going to play, which will give us an excellent example of the uses of Splunk, where we could address many operational issues and we could provide the organization with the business. We can provide the real-time data to the organization for better planning, to determine the back-end parking slots. The customers which are ordering food and beverages, they were able to read their behavior. So at the background, definitely a huge application would be running, Splunk was able to provide the real-time data from those applications. So Splunk definitely helped them to go through the user behavior, what the user is exactly doing, or any trouble which is being faced by the user was addressed by the reports generated by Splunk. I'm having another video which is having the overview of machine data to operational intelligence using Splunk. So here you will see how machine data is converted to operational intelligence by using Splunk. So this is how Splunk is helping to convert machine data into operational intelligence to the big houses which use IT infrastructure to analyze data real time, which is adding value to their business and other business intelligence activities. So definitely Splunk is the next big thing in terms of data analytics.